Happy Sunday, everybody! Welcome to our YouTube channel today, where we're going to talk about things that make your life better and make you better at life. We're excited about it. It's a beautiful day in Minnesota, wherever you're logging into from, what country. Hopefully it's just as beautiful as it is here. It looks warmer outside than it is. I'm joined with a good friend, Joey. Right, Joey, when you say outside looks warmer than it really is.
It does, but I do think it is going to warm up to a very nice day.
Oh, is that this is the weather report from Joey?
Yes, I think it's going to start off in the 40s and then go to the 50s and then possibly
Okay,
low
you're
60s.
already wrong because it started out in the 30s, but so I like your report. It's great. It's probably 36 degrees.
Well, let's check
He's
out
checking
what
right now.
time.
As he checks, we're also joined with, for the first time ever, hanging with us, we got Miss Icon. How we doing?
I'm doing good.
Are you nervous?
A little.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay, so we're going to have to teach you some ropes today. You want to look at the camera when you talk because you're talking to everybody at home, so give a shout out to everybody at home.
Hi.
She is, the microphone blocks her face, but she's cute as ever. Thanks for hanging with us in the chat. If you're watching on Sunday while it's live, you know who you are because it's right now. We'll be here till a little after 9. Jump into the chat. That's where you get to hang out with people, connect. Our hopes on this YouTube channel is to not just share a thought. Obviously, we're going to talk about mean people and how to deal with them. Do you think you're one of them? Not the dealing with, but the mean person. We'll unpack all of that. That's the idea today. But we also want you guys to be able to check in with each other. How are you doing? How can we pray for you this week? What's going on in your life? We want to build a community of people that come together that want to hang out and connect either on Facebook and all those things. So it's a unique spot. This isn't your normal YouTube vibe hangout. So we tend to start the morning out talking about a little bit of nonsense, silly things, because we just want to be able to do that. Some are going to ask, well, where's Lil this week? Lily gets today off. She gets relaxed. I don't know what she and her husband are going to do, but this is the first time since they've been married, which is wild because of what we do. This is our first time ever getting to walk into church with Jordan. So it's
Sure, it'll be a weird feeling.
It'll be a weird feeling.
But a good feeling. I'm
Good
sure.
for her to be able to do that. I'm glad as a church we can provide that. Hey, take a break, enjoy your morning with your husband. And so here's the question: as you guys are in there chatting and saying good morning, here's a question. This is a pancake muffin. Okay, it's got chocolate chips on top. Holly made them. Actually, maybe Icon, you helped.
Yeah.
Okay, this is just straight up pancake batter. Now, when I hold said muffin, it has some weight to it. Like, it's, in Steven's words, dense, I think he was using this morning, right? Dense. He suggested that we add baking soda to said compound to make a pancake muffin. So we're asking for all of those out there that have ever done this or have other ideas. I don't think Steven's ever made a pancake muffin. He was just suggesting an idea, which could be very true. So this is not reserved for all those bakers out there. We just want to know, leave it as is, or is there something else you should do? It is, seriously, I'm holding on to it. It feels pretty heavy. Here you go. Hold on to it. Joey's going to... It feels a little heavy, a little dense.
It is a little dense.
Now, we got Dwayne all the way down in Mississippi. He hangs out with us on Sundays. He's a good man, wise man. Dwayne, what's your thoughts on dense pancakes? Any? You have any thoughts?
What are you going for? Like, hey, I'm all about the bang for the buck. So if I can get full off of that, then let's do it. Like,
I think it's gonna.
change it?
I think it's gonna make you full. I think you want some water with your. I don't know. That's what I thought. Did you
Dr.
have one of
Pepper,
these this
like,
morning?
Yeah.
A Dr.
Dr.
Pepper.
Pepper.
Gross,
You need some
Dwayne.
sugar with it, so you need to put some.
There's already sugar in it, I'm sure.
Need more sugar.
Now, here's what I think. Again, we need suggestions from online. I think you make... Now, there's chocolate chips on top, like I said before, but I think you got to figure out how to make a little divot, and then you fill the divot with syrup.
That's good.
Did you eat one of these this morning?
Yeah, I had a half of 2 and I was done.
A half of 2, so you had a whole one.
Well, yeah, but there were 2 different ones.
Oh, one...
So
like,
who ate the other half?
Oh, they're in a bag.
oh,
So why'd you eat a
'Cause
half of...
one and
two?
half... Yeah, these
Yeah.
are...
Why didn't you just eat the whole one with just one full?
Because I wanted chocolate.
Oh.
But not too much chocolate?
No, I also wanted a cinnamon one.
Oh, so we had a cinnamon... Why didn't we just add cinnamon to this and make it...
Oh, we did.
Oh, there's cinnamon in this.
Yeah.
Okay. Did you think it was too dense? Too heavy?
It was very heavy.
So we need to lighten it up. Okay, there you go. This is not a baking channel, everyone. This is definitely just, we're just getting the day started. Now I got this pancake everywhere. Ledge, you ate it this morning. What'd you think? It was good. Well, Legend's feeling all shafted right now that I stole his breakfast. He was going to eat it. You'll during a video or whatever, you'll be able to eat it. And so let's jump in the chat today and say good morning. Shout out to people. Some of you should notice that we started really close on time. Did anyone in the chat, Joey, say, wow, they're starting at 8 o'clock today?
Not that I saw.
We only get dumped on when we're late. Oh, Scott, he's doing his makeup, his hair, which I don't do either one.
You don't do your hair?
No,
it's just naturally.
This is what it. I mean, Icon was in there this morning when I woke up. I was like, oh, someone's standing up, and I just did a little bit of that, and it's done.
With like water, or just with your hand?
No water, just my hand.
Wow.
Just the way it goes. Pretty much what I'm trying to say, Joey, is when I sleep like just folded hands, and I don't move.
If I came in here without doing my hair, I would look like I have wings, and it would be crazy.
It would be crazy. How about Dwayne? If he doesn't do his hair, what happens in the morning? Oh, it must look like that.
See, even when my hair is like that.
Wi-Fi.
Dwayne just says Wi-Fi.
Like,
look, even your hair like that, it stands up.
Or it like goes out to the side sometimes. Like, it's like I have to like wet it down. Even maybe not that, but if it was a little bit longer than that, it's just
struggle's real.
It's wild.
Well,
struggle.
I need to cut it. I need to cut mine right now because it does that. It's like if it does that, like it's too long.
It's too long. That's the problem with short hair. You got to cut it often. But let's give a shout out. We got Marnie in. Her name is really long all of a sudden. This CDE ponies. What's the C? You were asking the same question, Joey. What is the CDE? Let's guess. What would CDE stand for? Ponies. Can't dunk M? Like EM? Can't dunk them? Can't dunk them ponies?
Definitely
not it. Not it. You don't think so? Icon, what do you think? It's Marnie. She's in Washington State. A great human being, great family, and her name is Marnie. And then it says CDE ponies. What do you think the CDE stands for?
I don't know.
No, you have to have a guess. Dwayne, how about you? A guess.
Oh my goodness.
CDE ponies. What do you think?
I have no clue.
What?
Cute.
Ooh, now we're on to something.
Darling, excited ponies.
Okay, that's better than the one I had, but that took you a long time to get there.
It did. I was trying to
At least I had an answer. See, my answer might be so wrong, but I had an answer.
We gotta say hi to Timothy Lum.
Woo, Tim Lum in the house. That's so good to see him and his name. Haven't seen that name in a long time. Coming from Atlanta area, I'm assuming. We have MQT, One Wheel in the house. Can definitely eat. His guess is can definitely eat ponies. That's a good one, too.
Who said that?
I like that one.
Oh.
MQT.
Yeah.
Definitely can eat. Speaking of MQT, One Wheel, will you be at Dirt Surfers? We want to know because we, as this church, this organization, will be at Dirt Surfers. So let's get that right out of the way. You need to make plans to be there. I wish we had some soft music, Joey, to play because I want to have a heart-to-heart. Let me just do this. We'll kind of pull in a little bit. Maybe get into that close shot for a second. See how we do here. All right, I'm gonna bend down just a little bit. A little bit heart to heart. Okay, I know our people, you that call this home, live across the globe, but we're going on a missions trip. Missions trip is where we go and serve another group of people, and we see needs and meet needs. It's what you see throughout the Bible of the Acts. Go to the book of Acts and you see the early church and men and women taking mission trips to other parts of the world to just simply help them. You actually aren't getting anything from it. We as this church, we're on mission to Arkansas to help the Great Passion Play and Dirt Surfers. We're going to do both. Now, it does cost money because we have room and board there, and we do have what else do we have? Room or food. Those are the essentials, right? Thank you, Joey. You're
a lot of help.
A lot of help. we're going on, like, I like, if I could jump through this screen and tell you, don't give an excuse. This is where, like, we go because we're called as followers of Jesus, not because we can afford it. When we're called, we can help you fundraise. You can send letters to family members going, hey, we're going on a mission trip, and it costs this amount of money to go, and we need to raise that to get there. I can't beg because that'd be weird. But I'm trying to push you. You're gonna get so much out of this. I understand your schedule's busy. Everybody's is. And there's always reasons not to do it. This is my heart-to-heart to you. Let's go. Sign up. I know we have... Okay, we'll go back to the live chat. I know we got Dan and Jen who are coming in from Florida. So they're in. Man, it would be so cool to have a heap of other people come in and go, no, we're going to come down there for the week. Or we can only make it half the week and we'll come in front half of the second half. We just need hands and feet getting down there to serve both dirt surfers and the property of the Great Passion Play. Here is the date so that you guys can double check. Are you really available? May 13th through the 20th. The cost is $550, but that's for those coming here from Minnesota because we rent a van for you at home. I believe Dan and Jen's going to have to help us. We got the cost yesterday figured out. I think it's $225 for those that have to get their way there. Is that correct? Dan and Jen, if you could help us out in the chat, that would be great. This is an invite to everybody. If you're wanting to do this, you can text the number that we're going to put on the screen. This is the church phone number. You can text saying, I want to go to the missions trip. Or if you want to even skip a step, here's the phone number. It's 651-276-8797. If you want to skip a step, you can go to unlockchurch.com and you can find the Arkansas trip, and you can fill out a form there that will get you signed up. And then we're going to start having some meetings here, a couple meetings before we do, because we're a month away. So we're a church going on a mission to make the world a better place. Dwayne, him and Elizabeth are coming, right? Dwayne, you guys are going to make the trip over from Mississippi?
We are. Super excited.
It's going to be fun. I enjoy hanging out with your family, and I enjoy getting on mission. Dwayne came in last year, I think Thursday-ish, right? You drove over. Mm-hmm. And it is so much fun to serve other people. And so this is an invite. This is Dwayne, what would you say for anyone that's on the fence about a mission trip from like, I can't afford it. I could go if I could afford it. What would you say when it comes to a missions trip? What's the, what should we do to push them over? How do we get them to go, I'm in?
Well, I mean, I think you go back and you look at the Bible and it's like when Jesus spoke, it was outside of people's normal element. Like, you know, you really kind of get along. Like, you know, when Jesus went, he would often go off to pray by himself. Like, just getting out of your routine, like, is really where God speaks and to us the most, and where God really kind of, like, I don't know, like, it's just, you can hear God speak. You can feel like what God's teaching you when you get outside of your normal element. And a mission trip oftentimes acts as that, okay, hey, you know, Monday through Friday, I'm getting up at 6 o'clock to go to work. It's like, you know, that week it's different. You know, you're focused on, hey, you know what, I'm here for God. I'm here to serve God. I'm here to serve other people. And then through that, God honors that sacrifice. It just, you know, Scott said you don't get anything out of it. And it's like, yes, to an extent, but at the same time, like, you get so much out of it because of that time that, you know, God can really kind of really show you kind of his heart and show you the people that he loves. And, you know, like, it's a great time. If you've never gone on a mission trip, you should definitely go on a mission trip.
Yeah, and if I said, thank you, Dwayne, for correcting me. If I said you don't get anything out of it, I meant to say you get so much out of it. It's a game changer, like it really is. Everything Dwayne said is correct. And that's why we are pushing so hard. This is not we make money for this. No, it is us wanting to partner with you wherever you're watching this, from Michigan to Connecticut, Rhode Island, Texas, Florida, Washington, and everywhere else in the world. New Zealand, right? We're trying to partner with you to help disciple you in being a follower of Jesus. Get on a missions trip. There's always excuses not to do it. The only passable, there are a couple more, but the one right now that I have in my mind is Joey and Michaela's, because that's the due date for Michaela. And so, Joey, you get a pass this year only.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. Next year, no go. You're in. You're even like Flynn.
Yep.
Okay.
Flynn.
Yeah. Yes, Dwayne.
Scott, you've seen eight kids delivered. Like, you could take care of that, right?
I got it.
You're an expert at this point.
I definitely have no problems doing it.
He's being very nice, I think, because I think if Holly was due, I think they would probably deliver it at the property, right?
Yeah, probably.
I mean,
we have been known to cut things close. Like, due dates to us are more like a guideline, not.
You might be visiting the hospital in Arkansas, though.
Yeah. And I don't know if I would want a child born in the middle of the sticks with me catching, It's just because I tend to think that babies are really slippery when they're wet. And, I could be a chance where they just, slip right out of my hands. Then I'm holding them by the umbilical cord. It's awkward. So I might have done that once or twice. Icon might have been one of them that, whew, you were slippery. That's it. No thoughts, Icon?
No thoughts.
Okay.
Just slimy.
Yeah. Okay. Now we're really deep. Okay. No, we don't have Lil here to bring us back. Icon. That was Icon's way of saying, all right. Did anyone catch the name for Marnie's the CDE? Was that right? Was that the abbreviation?
I don't know, but she said that my name was her favorite.
Yeah, combined driving events. I have more questions events. Now that I'm like, I don't even understand that. I don't know the ways of the force nor ponies. So it must be Joey and Dwayne's in Icon. Something to do with what you're doing. Yep, Jen Winman is also confirming $225 for you. $225 for your room and board for 7 days. It is, put that back up there, Legend, would you? So everybody gets those dates. It is a Monday after Mother's Day to that, what's the 20th? I'm not sure. Is that a Monday?
I mean,
it's a Monday.
Think about it. It's probably, you'd be spending more on groceries.
Yeah, it actually is going to save you money. Yes, well said.
You're not really paying for room and board. You're paying probably for food.
Yeah.
And you're probably saving money on food.
And you're going to have an adventure. I promise you that.
Yeah.
I promise you're going to have an adventure. And so we're spending a great deal of time on this because last year, it was the first time we got to hug Dan and Jen and family in the middle of the parking lot down because we'd never really met them. We never met them physically. So, okay, we're going to get off it. There you go. Hopefully that a lot of you are stoked about, okay, we're going to go do that. And no matter your skill level, this isn't going to go ride a one wheel. You're going to go serve in the one wheel races, meaning you're going to tell people, go. That's it. That's all you need to know. Go. You're going to start the races at all these. It's so much fun, so easy, and we get to serve people in a capacity we don't normally do. So there you go. I'm excited about it. I don't know. Dwayne and I were texting on Friday, and I was just like, I can't wait. I can't wait to be down there and know that we're going to do something for somebody else. It's going to be a lot of fun. Okay, today's topic is mean people and how to deal with them. Okay, we're going to talk about that right after we got this great video. And this is right on the back tail of what we just said. Maybe some of you are like, no, I don't want to do that. Well, maybe you're just too comfortable. And this video has all to do with comfortability. And so watch this. It's got a little humor in it, especially if you've grown up in the church. We don't have physical seats like where you're getting in rows, but potentially you watch every week in the same chair. Well, then you're a creature of habit. I know in our live location here in Minnesota, I know where people sit because they don't move. They're always coming in the same row, same seat, and it's crazy to me. I cannot do that. I'm a guy that goes, I just cannot, I can't be controlled by culture constraint. I don't even know what I'm looking for, but I just can't. Joey's.
Can you, now I'm interested actually. Can you think of anybody in the church besides you that sits in a different spot every week?
No. The last couple weeks ago, actually, and I never asked him why, but Tall Jordan and Kaylee went to the extreme sides, and I don't know why. They just moved completely. I was like, that's interesting. Yeah, why? Maybe they were breaking out of their comfort zone. So this is the video about it. It should rattle you a little bit, but with humor. Enjoy this. We'll be right back.
Morning. Hey, hello.
Oh, excuse me.
Sorry for my wife.
Where are you? People are trying to sit next to me.
Hey. Hey.
No. Don't let your guard down. Not even for them.
Seat's taken.
Seats taken? I sound like Forrest Gump. But I earned my space. 9 years sitting in the same seat Sunday after Sunday. Man, it is crowded. What is this, Southwest Airlines? This Bible can only hold the seat for so long, and this donut's about to be eaten. Church would be so great if it weren't for the people. It's not that I don't like people, I just like there to be a buffer. I need my personal space, and I like my chair. This is my chair. We're buddies, we're friends, we're amigos. Oh, an announcement? What? Scoot in? Hey, who do you think you are? What do you mean scoot in? We don't scoot in here.
My wife's gonna be here any minute. There she is. Honey, sweetie, your chair, hon?
My wife just ghosted me. Oh, the seat's cold. Now I'm crowded. What is wrong with these people? Everyone knows that is my chair. Maybe she's new. Fine. Just settle in here since you're clearly stuck for a while.
This is a challenging sermon for me because I like comfortable next to the next person. But however, I'm going to ask you a question this morning. What is it that you find comforting? What is it that you can hear in dance match every day rather than serving the Lord?
What did you just say, Pastor? Okay, big guy. Now you're getting a little too personal, all right? Look, I've been through some extreme change the last year or so, okay? But I haven't stayed the same. Have I? Or have I just been sitting in cement? No. I do stuff. I help. I serve. I helped serve at that kid service 4 years ago, and I invited my neighbor to that outreach event thingy. Well, I didn't verbally invite him, but I've got work, and I'm busy. I am just so busy. And I don't mean to sound selfish, but if you want me to do something, then you're just going to have to give me a sign. Yeah, a sign. Just one sign is all I pray for, and I will go, and I will get out of this not-so-comfy chair and use my gifts and talents for the kingdom. Just one sign, that's all I need. I feel something. What is this? Is that gum? Disgusting! Now I got gum on my pants. Who would put gum on my chair? Now I have to get a new chair. Oh. Okay, everybody's looking at me. Message loud and clear, God. Touche, Lord. Touche. Here am I. Send me.
And that's the point, to get to a spot of here am I, send me. And so we thought that was an appropriate video to come out of a conversation of getting all of us on mission, rattle us a little bit. Could you imagine, Joey, if in the middle of a church service you just stand up unthinking or unaware of that you're in a room full of people and now all of a sudden you just stood up? Did you catch that? You didn't catch that. But this guy, man, if the video is on you, it'd sell you out right now, but it's not on you. But that's a funny video, a whole good idea there. I think Jen Woodham is saying it quite well. It is a steal at $225. What you get is way more than that in value, and then you just know you're leaving a piece of property in Arkansas better than we found it, and they are doing a great work down there. And so excited to be able to hang out with all of you, work together, and get a lot accomplished inside 1 week of time in life to be able to say, hey, remember that one time we went on mission and did something that didn't involve our stuff. We were going and helping other people. And so Thank you for even thinking about it. Don't just say no. Pray about it. Like, is that what God wants you to do? Go on mission, because you're gonna love it. Okay, how to deal with mean people, and how to deal with them. How would you define, Dwayne, what a mean person is in your own words? How would you go, this is what a mean person is like? Like, I know you gotta be broad, but how would you define a mean person?
I think a mean person would be someone who, I don't know, like, doesn't take into consideration, like, other people's thoughts or feelings.
That's fair. That's simple. I do like
good.
that one. You might have nailed it, actually. That's pretty good. Doesn't take in consideration other people's feelings or thoughts, or
like a person that doesn't have like any empathy.
Ooh, that's good. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's fair. Okay, Joey, do you're wanting to add the empathy thing or what?
Well, isn't empathy?
We've had this conversation.
Okay.
No, I was gonna say I don't think we got it down. Like, I said one thing and another. I don't know if we all agree what empathy is.
Okay. Well, no, I agree with Dwayne, and then maybe add like just like someone who is like consistently critical about everything. Like maybe they become angry because they have issues with everything they see.
Okay.
Self-focused.
Very self-focused.
Yeah.
I think almost when you were just saying that, I think well, let's make sure we set this up right. This is week 3 of Mean People. Last week we did a video that was me teaching down in Austin. It was a lot of fun to be in Austin on the behalf of this church to talk about what Jesus has been doing through Unlocked Church. It's just cool to brag. And Joey spoke here last week on Mean People. And so we're week 3 of Mean People, but online it's week 2. I know that. It's a series we're doing. Here is the whole premise of it. Here's what the thumbnail, the image looks like when you come to difficult people. It's like difficult people, a simple guide to dealing with needy, manipulative, hypocritical, and overly critical people that drive you crazy every day. Now, difficult people is a huge umbrella for a lot of different things today. We're just choosing to talk about mean people. Icon, you represent a lot today. You represent the ladies, and you represent young people. Would you agree with do you know that can like sit in your ear? Like
It doesn't stay.
Well, let me see it really quick.
It falls out.
Well, put both of them in there. Why is it falling out? Make it comfortable for yourself. You're here a while. You are? Yeah. You look like you're like talking to somebody. Like okay. You're representing young people and ladies. What would you say define a mean person?
Someone who's always tearing you down.
Someone that's always tearing you down. Yeah, I feel like the longer we go here, it's gonna be quite a long list. Now, Joey, have you Googled it? What's mean? This is Joey's new role, everyone.
Yeah, I'm not as fast as Lily at this. Lily is so good at this.
You're also using tiny little screen. No, stay focused. Get typing. My goodness. He's looking at me.
Qualities of a mean person?
No. Define what is mean. What does Webster's dictionary say a mean person is? Now, in the chat, if you haven't already done this, we'd love to hear what you define a mean person as. And we're not looking for a name of a certain person, because you all got one. And the funny thing is, here's the funny thing on this topic, difficult people. We all think the people we deal with are difficult. But the person that's at your work, your spouse, they're the difficult person, that you're the problem. But we never see it ourselves. We probably don't evaluate ourselves as the mean one. It's always somebody else. But the definition, Joey, do we have one?
Yeah, offensive, selfish, unaccommodating, nasty, malicious, a mean remark, small-minded.
Wow.
I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, there's someone who's stingy or ungenerous.
But give me the Webster dictionary.
Webster dictionary, specifically
my
Webster's.
Pen.
Okay, Webster's.
My pen is look at this.
Okay.
My pen is stuck, Joey. You can't see. Can you see? I can't even write today. It's stuck. How does that even happen?
All right.
Get it out of here. Got a new one.
Well,
I got one.
You know, it says to have in the mind as a purpose, intend.
What?
What?
You're about to get fired, Joey.
Or to introduce a phrase. What the heck?
Are you on the Webster's Dictionary?
Yeah, mean. Webster's Dictionary. Here you go.
Yeah, I got to check it out here. We got to go down.
Well, I was just reading the first thing that pops up.
Yeah, the first one, you got to go to the one.
All right, so while he's looking.
A direct, what?
Yeah, see, we should
not good.
No.
The Webster's Dictionary is not good.
That's why we just go back to whatever I was looking at.
Go back to whatever you were. Sorry for the moment of pause. I was disbelieving in what you should go and read it yourselves, everyone, what it says, because it's crazy. It's like, doesn't make any sense at all when the way we use the word mean. Can you do the qualities of, there was one word in there that I was like, that's a good one. And I wanted to write it down.
Okay, then I'm just going to go back to, okay.
Oh, man.
This
is painful.
So,
Lily, if you're watching at home, you're missed.
Offensive.
Yeah.
Selfish.
Yep.
Unaccommodating.
Yep.
Nasty,
unaccommodating. That's a good one.
Malicious. Small-minded. Ignoble. I don't know even what that means. Stingy.
Okay.
Unkind. Unfair.
That's a lot. I mean, pretty
lot.
much mean is very broad. Now, here's the question.
It is.
Icon, what happens when someone's mean to you? What do you want to do?
I want to fight back.
Ooh, why?
Show that I'm strong and I can beat them.
Okay. Now, does that in turn, based on what we just read, that would turn you into a mean person?
Yes.
Oh. So the natural response, Joey or Dwayne, that we're learning here is our natural response, our default to mean people is to be mean back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, is anyone, Dwayne, do you want to push back on that, or is that probably a safe assumption?
Fight or flight.
Fight or flight. You got two options. Fight or flight. And most of the time, we aren't about to flight. We're just not going to run. Most people don't run, especially when it's in this kind of capacity, where it's a battle of words. And so when confronted with a mean person, if not trained otherwise, you're going to be mean right back. I mean, I got 8 kids. Holly and I are trying to raise them the best we can, and we watch this all the time. As soon as someone's mean to one, the next instant, they're mean. I mean, there is no pause.
Yeah.
It is just like, but that's just an untrained human. And as an adult, sometimes we hide those. We can justify our way through. But today, it's a tap on the shoulder saying, no. No longer is it acceptable when someone's mean to you to be mean back. Now, why would we say that's not acceptable, Joey? You're a young man raising a young family. Why is it not acceptable when being mean to at receiving it to give it back? Why would you train that out of somebody?
Because it doesn't do any good, and it, like you said, it brings you like you're becoming a mean person. Just because the way someone is treating you is causing you to become a mean person, and so kind of changing that into not letting it cause you to be that person, and so I'm trying to get to is like,
I get what you're trying to make it as simple as possible, but it's complicated as well. It's not as simple as you do A, B, and here you go, C, you're guaranteed C. I think we default at birth to respond to meanness with meanness. It's the saying we say around here a lot. You've probably heard it. Hurting people hurt people unless there are guardrails in life going, no. Warning signs in my life. That person's being mean to me. I'm going to automatically want to be mean back to them. Now, there is a spot we're going to talk about in dealing with mean people that sometimes we don't take it out on the person that was just mean to us, and we take it out on whoever's the closest. Because sometimes the mean people, you can't get to them. We live in a space, Holly and I and my family, in a digital space often, where we create content for people to enjoy. But there's a lot of people out there that will write very mean things about myself, my family, and I can't get to them. I can't physically get to them to let them know how much and nor would I. But you know what? I'm wearing it, and if I can't offload the feelings I have that a mean person's created, I go to those closest to me and I hurt them. Not on purpose. I'm not going to do it intentionally. I'm going to take this out on Holly all of a sudden. But it's just my anger that's inside and I'm not doing something with. I'm looking to offload, and it's to the nearest person that's closest to me. And oftentimes it's the people we love the most. Jesus said, we talked about this a couple weeks ago, I think. Jesus said, you once heard it said, an eye for an eye and tooth for a tooth. That's how most people live. Break it down for us, Dwayne. What is that old school principle, an eye for an eye, tooth for tooth?
Yeah, so whatever they do to you, do back to them.
And it's okay if you do that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No one would say you were wrong in doing that. But then Jesus comes along and says, no. That's not okay. You're going to love those people. You're going to pray for those that persecute you. You're going to love them, and you're going to pray for them. So that's the target for all of us. That's the bullseye when dealing with difficult people, to love them and pray for them, not to give them a taste of their own medicine. We got all these crazy sayings that somehow in our humanity has justified us being difficult back to people and being mean to other people. They just they had it coming. Or however you say it, right, Joey? It just is awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. And if we don't train ourselves and we as parents don't help train our kids, we're going to continue to just be mean to mean people, difficult to difficult people, and we're not going to be slow and go, what would love require me to do for those that are really difficult people? And so, we're talking about mean people today. And we just learned today that mean is not just one tiny little area. It's really a person that opposes you in any facet. I think that's how I would put a broad title over a mean person. Someone that opposes you. It could be a creative idea. It could be opposes you in family values or your religious values. A mean person that would target you. How to deal with them. How many, and then you got to ask yourself, how often do you turn around and are mean to somebody? How often are you mean to somebody? So the goal for us as followers of Jesus is to be like Jesus in all of our responses. Proverbs says that be slow to speak and quick to listen. I was watching some movie the other day. They quote it, but they didn't say it was from Proverbs, but they said, the reason you have 2 ears and 1 mouth is so that you listen more than you speak. That is true, especially when dealing with difficult people. Listen more than speaking, because the minute you speak with difficult people, you're potentially going to get yourself in a problem. The other thing is we want to respond and not react. Dwayne, break that down. When we say as followers of Jesus, and it's just good humans in general, we want to respond and not react. What's the difference of the two?
I think responding is moving beyond that first thought, moving beyond your natural instinct. Obviously, reaction is kind of whatever going with that first one, but responding is really taking a step back and trying to see the different angles and trying to figure out the intention behind whatever. So just moving beyond that first thought.
Oh, that's so good, Dwayne. Moving past the first thought, because it's usually not the right one. Go, Joey.
I mean, I think it's what you said about being slow and being slow with how you respond, how you react. Because if you're not, you're going to react off of your emotions, and usually your emotions is not the way. A lot of times you don't do good when you're just reacting off your emotions.
But I think our emotions are self-seeking. That's the problem with our emotions. Our emotions don't necessarily reach out to, what I'm going to say is going to comfort the individual. No, I'm going to protect me. I'm going to be stronger than the other. It's not a throttle down, it's a throttle up. So when someone's mean to me, I need to be more mean to them so they realize I'm the bigger dog in the fight, in a sense. And so our first response is the reaction. It's just reactive. You said that, I'm going to do this. And to react is to only take and put gasoline on a fire. And I don't know if you've ever done that, but gasoline in fire it's crazy. Okay, it's terrifying. Okay, It's wild to see in videos. Have you ever done fire to or gas to a fire? In person, you just don't know what you're going to get. And there's some of that adrenaline piece. Have you ever done this, Joey? Have you ever thrown gasoline onto a fire?
Yes.
And what happened?
Boom.
Boom. It always makes a big boom.
Yeah,
and
big.
It's startling. Now, again, people enjoy that because there's this adrenaline rush to it. But that's what happens when we react. It's poof. And now all the things out of control. A response is coming in and it's using water to a fire. It's taking the flames and taking it down a notch so that we can get to the real issue, the real concern. Because oftentimes, the person that's being mean to you, someone was mean to them and they're just looking for somebody to take it out on. And whoever they can find is the closest, and the first one that they can get to is where they're going to head. You know, the other thing I realized if we choose to react instead of respond as humans, when dealing with difficult people, mean people, is we forget, and this is reserved for those that are Jesus followers, because you should have an understanding of the grace that was given to us to forgive us of our sins. Joey, what's grace?
You know, a gift that we don't deserve. It's unearned and...
Yeah, that's it. I mean, it's just that simple. But if we could only take that and never forget that, because then it's like, wait, I'm a difficult, mean person. We all are. This is for everybody. We all are at different times. But God has forgiven me and accepted me into his kingdom with all of my messes. But we deem my mess not as big as their mess, and we have these scales of messes. Oh, that person's really bad. And it's like, Jesus goes, I didn't die for a selection of messes. I died for all of them and rose again. And my grace is for everyone. And Jesus says my grace is sufficient. So when we as followers of Jesus realize, wait, I was giving grace that I did not deserve, I should then in turn give the same grace to those around me. The only way that becomes at the forefront of your mind is if you don't ever forget it and you think about it all the time and you quantify it, and it's a big deal. That grace from God is a big deal. And we want to be able to give grace to other people because we've been given grace. So therefore, when somebody's having a bad day, they're screaming, they cut you off. Whatever your trigger is, you're going, no, God's given me grace. I'll give them grace. And when we do those things, we'll begin to react less and respond more. I just tell you what, try this. Try this if you're married, in your marriage. Instead of wanting to one-up them or whatever they're saying and being mean back to them, no, just go, wait, his grace is sufficient for me and for them. I'm going to stop. I'm going to pause. It might make your environment of your house slightly better. Now, this is the opening thought to a difficult topic about difficult people, the mean ones. And we want to give you a second to process this and think about in your own life, what do you do in these moments? How do you react or respond? How are you handling mean people? Do you turn into a mean person? Have you been guilty of taking it out on the people you love the most when it was somebody at work that did something to you? Or you've taken it out on whoever was the next closest person that you could take it out on? We got a great story to illustrate all of this from one of my favorite men in the Bible, King David. We're going to get to, I think it's somewhere in 1 Samuel. We're going to read that when we come back from good grace. Figure we should have a song that talks about good grace so we can just pause in the grace of God for a moment and give him some credit for giving us grace that we should in turn around and give grace. It's funny when it comes to this difficult people topic and mean people, we tend to give mean back to mean, but never give grace to those after receiving grace. It's just funny. It's just a thought. But I know I've been guilty of that. And so as we play this song, I want you guys to be able to reflect on the words. I want you to have a conversation with God, just saying, God, forgive me for the lack of grace I've given to other people. Help me to deal with mean people appropriately. And may you make my heart soft like a sponge, that I might learn something today that will make me better. The reason we say make you, here on this channel, we're trying to teach you things to make you better at life and make your life better. When we encounter Jesus and begin to implement those Jesus principles, you know what happens? Our life gets better. It just does. It's less complicated. We make less dumb decisions when Jesus is the Lord of our life. So there, our life is better. And we make life better because now you're not reacting, you're responding. Your life's not as complicated. So being a follower of Jesus makes your life better and makes life better. It's that simple. So enjoy this song. Turn it up if you need to. Hum along. Have a conversation with God. Good grace. We'll be right back to finish this thought of how to handle mean people.
Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's worship together. Let's sing. Come on.
Together, strangers, neighbors, our blood is one. Children of generations, of every nation, of kingdom come. So don't let your heart be troubled. Hold your head up high, don't fear no evil. Fix your eyes on this one truth. God is madly in love with you. So take courage, hold on, be strong. Remember where our help comes from. Everything with breath repeat the sound.
His name is Jesus. It's so good. Like, I don't know if you're getting it, if you're paying attention to the lyrics there, but it's the whole point. Like, we should just amen it, go to home kind of deal. And when we say amen, it means like we agree. Make it so is what we're saying when we say amen. But the line in there, it says, fix your eyes on this one truth. He loves you. When we fix our eyes, that's the bullseye. Mean people will be mean. And we will get lost in the idea that, wait, he loves us, and we're going to love them. Whoever them is for you and I that are mean people. Now, Icon has seven brothers and sisters. This is easier said than done, isn't it? Yes? Yeah. Why is that?
Okay, what's the question?
We got Miss Icon in here. She is my oldest daughter. She is with us to unpack some ideas today. You have 7 brothers and sisters, right? Yeah. Okay. When they're mean to you, it's easier to be mean back to them than it is to be kind and to remind yourselves, oh, no, I've been given grace, so I'm going to give them grace. Why is it easier to just yell right back at them and be mean?
Because it's human nature.
Well, you just posed that as a question. I'm asking as Icon, yourself. Like, right? Have you ever lost your temper back at your sister? Let's go. You and Historic, right? Have you ever got mad at her?
Yes.
Because she did something or took something, right? Why do you respond like that? Because you know who Jesus is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So why to your sister? Do you love her?
Yes.
Okay. So why are you mean back to her?
Because she frustrated me.
Okay. But why didn't you say, let's pray together? No thought?
No thought.
Well, I'm not saying you should have, but like, why is that not your natural response? Why is your natural response sometimes you just stop talking to her? I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Well, sometimes I do that so I don't get really mad at her.
Oh, so it's a way to protect you from. Well, how long is appropriate to not talk to someone then?
30 seconds.
30 seconds, but it seems like sometimes it turns out to be 30 minutes for you or 3 days. It's never been more than a day.
Yeah.
But it's like mom and dad step in for you and go, all right, you got to go sort this out because you've given her the silent treatment for too long. Right?
Yeah.
So then the silent treatment isn't an end. It's like, no, I'm just done talking because I'm just mad at him. There's no fix.
Yeah.
So what keeps you from coming back and going, all right, Historic, let's pray this out. Hey, I'm sorry for my being mean back to you. What's the holdup there? Why is that so hard?
Because I'm still frustrated at her.
So how do we help you? What helps you to not be as frustrated?
I don't know.
These are toughies, aren't they? Now, again, for everyone at home, like Joey wants to rescue her. But I think what you're watching with her, what I love about this conversation with my daughter, we didn't practice this. She had no idea what we were going to say. The tough bit is that what you're seeing her do is what you do as an adult. It's just all up in here, and you don't get to see it play out. And you're sitting at home watching and listening, and you're going, no, the right answer is this, or this is what you should do. And we know what we should do. We just don't oftentimes do the things we should do. We will give counsel to someone of the same situation we're dealing with, but we won't listen to it ourselves, but we get mad at our friend that won't listen to wise counsel from you. Right, Joey? Like you sit down and you go to parenting. You tell your kid, no, you can't be, silent treatment's not okay or whatever. But then you can find yourself doing the same thing that they just got time out for or a spanking for. You do to Michaela when you're upset or frustrated, right?
Yes.
What's the hang up there?
I mean,
why do we do that? Why do we know what we're supposed to, what's the right thing to do? Why is it so hard to do?
I think it comes back to being like self-centered a little bit, and like, I mean, I think here's an example. Maybe this is gonna help the situation, but this happened the other day. My dog was constipated, was struggling to poop for the last 2 days.
What?
And like, so I get home. It was already a long day. I had conferences, so I didn't get home till like 7 o'clock. Kids were down for bed. I get home, and I go and take the dog on a long walk to try to get him to go, and he was literally like squatting trying to go for like 30 minutes, and I just was like kind of frustrated about it. And so I come inside, I'm like, get a hot towel, and I'm start like trying to grab, and Michaela starts freaking out at me. Don't do that right here. I'm like, I need to do this. I'm like, I will clean it up. It's not. And so she was getting angry at me, and I was kind of like, and then she kind of, and then I will admit, I did what Icon did, and I went back and took him more on another walk and kind of retreated and like left the situation, probably because I didn't want to deal with restoring.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I didn't want to deal with it, and I didn't want, and it was it's almost like I wanted to be right or have, but like I didn't want to deal with the tension.
Yeah, I think that it's a great story, by the way. Everyone needs to know this information, Joey. Did he end up going to the bathroom? Is he okay?
The next day.
Wow.
But I literally was going on a walk for like an hour and a half because I was like, I'm making this dog.
What did he eat, that guy?
I don't know.
Wow.
I think it was a lack of exercise, to be honest.
It could be. It's a fundamental truth. Got to have movement. Okay. They're glad the dog's safe, and you and Michaela have made up since then.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So we've resolved the tension for everyone at home. Wait, are they still fighting about the dog's not going to the bathroom situation? But I think to Joey's point is sometimes what even Icon's saying, this gap, it sounds so cool. I just need time so I don't say anything stupid or unkind. But the truth is, no, I just want to deal with the tension. I don't want to resolve this, and I'm going to prove my point by being silent. Silent is another way of being mean. Silence oftentimes hurts more than the words because I'm immovable. I'm trying to remind you you're the wrong in this and not me. And so I love hearing these stories because it's true for all of us. Like, the whole point of today is to lessen the amount of times that we are retreating, lessen the times where we react versus responding. Here's the truth. Mean people in our lives gain a measure of control over our lives when they change our behaviors. Think about that one. Everything even Joey's story, in an Icon story with historic and stuff, their behaviors changed by someone being mean. Therefore, the person that was being mean has gained some kind of control over our life. If that doesn't frustrate you, I don't know. When I wrote that down, I was like, that's so frustrating. Now I'm frustrated about mean people, and they got more control over my life because my behaviors change. It's just a vicious circle. And that's what, like, we have got to be able to be aware of these things so that when people are treating us mean, those that love us and know more than us and close to us and things, those are who's going to be the most difficult and the meanest people at times because their words weigh so much. Mean people in our lives gain a measure of control over our lives and they change our behaviors. So therefore, we've got to work on staying consistent when we're confronted with mean people. I wrote down kind of a list. This is not a definition, Joey, but mean people, they keep us off balance. Those that often, you either can tell, this person's off today. What do? We tiptoe around them. They're keeping us off balance. When we're off balance, we're forced to compensate. This is interesting. So they keep us off balance. Then we're forced to compensate for being off balance. You ever lose your balance and then what do? You throw your weight the other direction. It's true on one wheels. One wheels, if you overpower them, the nose will tip down. And then what you do to overcompensate is you throw your weight backwards, which now makes the tail drag. And then if you aren't with it mentally, what's going on, you will fall straight, eat pavement or whatever you're on. You've got to go back up and not throw it too far forward. You're going to throw the nose down. It's overcompensating every time. And we do that emotionally when we deal with mean people. We are off balance. So therefore, when we're off balance, we have to counteract or forced to compensate for being rocked back by the mean words. And in doing that, we react instead of respond. Our initial response is usually where we become like the mean person. That first response that we all have, I'm just going to go, we're going to use your story, Joey, not to pick it apart, but it's a good illustration. Joey even said, my first response, I'm just going to go walk the dog. Now, he can hide it and tuck it inside. I'm really being a good man and taking care of my dog. But the truth is, no, my response is, I don't want to talk with you again right now because I'm going to walk. I'm just going to leave the situation. And that response is like, we become a lot like the mean person. And I know you know all these things, and it's just really crazy to hear it when you inside you're neutral right now, unless you're getting amped about somebody. Remember the golden rule? Kindergarten, Icon, do you know what the golden rule is? Kindergarten schools are plastered with this all over the world. The golden rule is. You don't know what the golden rule is?
No.
Yeah, we don't teach it. It's okay. Because the golden rule is, maybe you can help me finish it, Icon. The golden rule is do unto others as you would have them
do to you.
See, you knew it. You knew it. Do unto others as they would do to you, or have them do to you. Which we as parents, I'm sure you've done this, Joey, or Dwayne, maybe Dwayne, you've done this. I've done it, and then I catch myself. You ever leverage the golden rule inside your house with your kids, Dwayne?
Yes.
You had to think about it. It's like, but what? Right. Give me a context of how you would. Most parents, all of us use this in what kind of context? Give me it probably would have said this in this scenario with my kids.
Like one of them wants to sleep, so we have a 12-year-old that's definitely in the teenage, wants to sleep late. It's like little brother is going in, and he is. Definitely awake and loud. It's like, trying to, hey, would you want Ellen to do that to you? Like, yeah. Like, okay, well, that doesn't really work then. So it's like, talking with a 3-year-old is never logical. But, kind of going that, okay, hey, you wouldn't want them to do that to you, so don't do it to them.
Right. That's where Holly and I, early on, when we had little ones, like we still do, we got a 4-year-old, but like that's where we realized they're more like terrorists, and you can't negotiate with them because you're trying to negotiate with a 3-year-old is zero, and there's no reality. It's like they would hold out for 1 million gummy bears or whatever it is, right? So you just don't negotiate with terrorists. But your point, yeah, and I love it. It's a simple illustration. Hey, little buddy, would you like somebody to wake you up when you're napping? That's how we leverage it. We leverage it in the I'm going to use the word negative, Dwayne, and I don't mean it negative in, I don't know, maybe you can help when I unpack this a little bit, but this is Jesus's teaching, right? Jesus says this, do unto others as you would have others do unto you. And we say, hey, would you like somebody to punch you in the face? The answer usually is no. Then why would you punch somebody in the face? Would you like somebody to steal your Legos? Then why would you take their Legos, right? It's always in a negative concept. It's reserved for those. Instead of, I think when Jesus is reading this and teaching this, he's do unto others what you'd have others do to you. It's what does love require me to do? Like, not reactive or response. It's me taking the first step. Whereas we read it and teach it as it's reactive. And this is, no. Would you want somebody to wake up and make breakfast for you tomorrow? Okay, then make breakfast. Would you like somebody to give you $5? Okay, then look for, right? It's looking for, be proactive, not reactive. It's see a need, meet a need before even asked or mentioned, that you just see it. It's, would you like somebody to open a door for you? Would you like somebody to go on a missions trip to your area and help your area be better? Oh, then when I give it an opportunity, I'm going to, right? It's not the negative. And maybe I'm not doing a good job with saying the negative, but I just know I've leveraged it in the house, and I go, I don't think that's what Jesus meant. Hey, Inspire, do you want me to poke you in the eye? Then why would you poke somebody in the eye, right? It's always, instead it's like getting them to be proactive. And again, however you see the golden rule is great until you're punched in the face or something stolen from you or somebody writes something bad about you or says you're not very good at something, right? Golden rule is great until somebody mistreats you or mistreats somebody you love. It's not just reserved for people saying something about you. It's also people you love. And here's what happens. I'll take it out on you because I can't take it out on my boss, right? This is the same. We don't say this out loud because that would be ridiculous. But it's something we just do unintentionally. We look to take it out on something. Whoever has hurt me or wronged me, I'm going to take it out on somebody because I can't always do it to the person who's done it. So here's the story with King David. I want you to know really quick about this scenario. We're going to jump in with King David. This is one of my absolute favorite men to study in the book of the Bible. He is got every mess that you possibly could have in your entire life. Acts 13:22. Jesus said, or God says, I found David, a son of Jesse, a man after my own heart. He'll do everything I ask him to do. That's awesome. As messy and complicated he was, God still said that. At this point in the story we're going to jump into, you can turn to 1 Samuel chapter 25. Here is a little bit of the backstory here. He's been looking for a home. David's been kicked out of the palace. He's living in caves, moving from cave to cave to cave. He's on the run from the king. The king has put a bounty on David's head. If you get David and kill him, you're going to earn some money. So he's a fugitive. He's running from the law. He was told that he was going to be the next king in line, and now he's nowhere close to that. He is the king. Now the current king's trying to kill him. He has attracted other men like him, other angry, mistreated outlaws, the misfits. And all of this you can find through the first part of 1 Samuel. He has his own little miniature army, about 600 men and their wives and stuff. So he's got a posse, 600 people who are the disgruntled of the generation are with him. So he has no home. He's on the run. He's angry, and he's with a bunch of angry people. And David has all of this anger looking for a place to take it out on. He can't get to the king. And there's, so many good stories. And the story we're about to read is a story about where he finds his victim. And it happens to be another mean guy. And it's funny how we can justify, well, what I said, that person deserved it because they're already mean anyways, or whatever it is, right? We can rationalize, but here's David. He's mad. He's mean, but so is the person he's going to run into. And then there's an interesting character in the story that intersects this entire mess that was about to just get crazy. So 1 Samuel chapter 25. We'll read some of it. We'll break it down, and hopefully you get it. I think we've said it, but here's your story out of the scriptures today. Let's read it. 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 2. A certain man who had property there in Carmel was very wealthy. He had 1,000 goats, 3,000 sheep, which he was shearing in Carmel. Okay, for us in this day and age, we read that and it's like, what would you do with all of those? Unless you're Marnie, who seems to have a lot of animals up there. She has her own petting zoo. That's what I picture. I don't know. I've never seen it, but I feel like I should bring my children to her place. You should too, Joey and Dwayne. And she has a petting zoo. She has miniature horses. She has ponies, goats, I believe, probably chickens. I don't know what else she has. Maybe she can write that in the comments for us today. But she understands that they cost, there's a value to those. There are people who are willing to pay for those things, especially if goats are producing milk for you. If you eat ponies, I don't think Marnie eats those. I don't even know if you eat ponies. I can hear Dwayne. He chuckled in the background. Do people eat horses, Dwayne? Is that a thing?
I don't think so.
You don't think so? You don't think so? So you're telling me down in Mississippi you don't eat horses?
No.
How about guinea pigs?
What?
I don't think in Mississippi.
Hey,
I know in South America they do.
True story. This is true story. It was Easter. We had some people over here for our Easter, and one of the fine gentlemen that were visiting for Easter came. He went to an authentic store, and he said, "Hey, they were selling guinea pigs," and he thought about bringing them over to cook. They were literally ready to. You just cook them. Think about that one. Hey, everybody, for Easter today, our meat is guinea pig. Yep, that's right. Weird.
Not worth it.
Yeah, so in Minnesota, you can buy guinea pigs to eat. I know in other cultures that's a thing. Not here, it's not a thing. But nonetheless, I have totally gone off onto a rabbit trail. And some people going, that's mean people right there eating guinea pigs. But not horses. Dwayne is saying he doesn't think people eat horses. Marnie's probably laughing at us or going, move on, Scott. If Lily was here, she'd say.
Well, then there's people that eat like eyes of like.
I hear there's a lot of good nutrition value in eyes.
Yeah, it's just
a lot of fat behind the eyeball. I hear when I watch all my Alaskan shows, people are plucking out eyes of everything and eating it because he's like, this is so good for you. Man, I was in South America on a mission trip and they popped out fish's eyes and they said, this is where you start. It's really tasty. Now, when you're in those places, Dwayne, you got to do these things. It's impolite. So they get some fish out of the Amazon River, and they cook it up, and I knew I was going to have to eat these eyes. And I'm one of those guys on these mission trips, understanding you just watch. Is everyone eating? I'm not the first guy to eat something, and so they offer all the eyes, and I watch all the locals eat them. I'm like, all right, they're doing it. So this is the thing. They're not punking the Americans here. And so I put it in my mouth, and my taste buds were like, no, not today. It was like a battle of my mind and taste buds. I was like, listen here, taste buds. We cannot spit this out. We're going to have to endure it. Whoo-wee!
Well, have you ever heard the missionary prayer?
No, let me hear it, because I should have prayed it.
It's like, God, if I get it down, you keep it down.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, man. Like, I can still, as I'm talking about it, it's replaying in my mind. If you have a weak stomach, I apologize for what's next out of my mouth. But when you bite into an eyeball, it's like a gusher.
Like a burst.
A burst of just stuff that shoots into your mouth. And it just is not tasty. And it's now all over your mouth. And you down one. My only suggestion on ever in a mission trip like that, and they give you eyeball, eat both of them at the same time. Because the worst was the second one. The second one, because you knew what was about to happen.
What to expect.
Oh, man. It was not good. Woo-wee! My eyes are watering. It was like I had just drank a gallon of hot sauce. And it was just, my body was like, what have you done to yourself? And they were loving it. Man. I have no idea. What was I saying? The sheep, the goats. Okay, so this guy has he has 1,000 goats, 3,000 sheep, which he was cutting their hair. We read that, go, what would you do with that? In this day and age, that means this guy was wealthy, like stupid wealthy. Like the top tier of wealthy people had this amount of animals. And when you're cutting the fur off or the wool off these animals, it was payday. Like you're about to cash in. You're about to make bucks. And so that's the time of the season is happening in the story. This is very important details because you got to understand who is this man in Carmel. Okay, we go to 1 Samuel chapter 25, verse 2, continue. His name was Nabal. That's the owner of these sheep. And his wife was named Abigail. She was an intelligent, beautiful woman, but her husband was truly harsh and mean in his dealing with. Okay, so the scriptures are writing out on this guy. He's hard to deal with. He is a mean guy. Nabal, here's the crazy bit. Like, I love this when you read through the Bible. Like, we've gone, especially in the United States, we've gone a long distance from names meaning something when you name a child. But they named their children with, I don't know if it took days for them to name their kids, and it was oftentimes names changed for people, as so did their personalities. But this guy's name, Nabal, means heavy folly. Basically, it means he's a pain to deal with. There's weight to him, meaning when you're dealing with him, it's like, ugh. If you worked for this guy, you're sending your person below you to go talk to him because you're like, I don't want to deal with Nabal. Okay, so we'll continue in the story. While David was in the wilderness, he heard that Nabal was shearing sheep. So he sent his young men and said to them, go up to Nabal at Carmel and greet him with, in my name. Say to him, long life to you, good health to you and your household, and good health to you, all that is yours. This is a formal ancient greeting of, basically, I come in peace. I'm not coming to mess with you. You're the man. I'm not. You're awesome. I'm not. I love you. Swords are down. But I got a question. We pick up. Now I hear that it's sheep shearing time. When your shepherds were with us, we did not mistreat them. In the whole time they were at Carmel, nothing of theirs was missing. David's basically saying, hey, listen, there's 600 men, fighting men. We have swords. Your shepherds don't. We protected them when raiders were coming in. We didn't ask for anything for this. We were just seeing a need, meted a need. Hey, Nabal, I got a question for you. Based on our past performance around you, we were the good guys. I got a question for you. Ask your servants, and they will tell you what we said is true. Therefore, be favorable towards my men, and since we come at a festive time, please give your servants your son David whatever you can find for them. And David's men arrived, and they gave Nabal this message in David's name, and they waited. Why did they wait? Because it's Nabal. And Nabal says, I got the upper hand, so I'm just going to make you wait. There was no reason to make him wait. It was just he could. He has the power to lower it over him, so he waits. He makes them wait. And in the waiting, he makes them sit there and wait. What's going to happen? What's going to happen? If you grew up in church and you go to Sunday school, right? Maybe you have the view of David being this guy that's like maybe built like me, a little scrawny, a little scrappy. But when you really dig into the history books of David, he was barbarian. I mean, he was a warrior. He was, man, if you go to an old movie with Brad Pitt in it, Troy, you ever see that movie? Dwayne or Joey, Troy?
Yeah.
None? Yeah, okay, you got an idea. We should have put the picture out. Brad Pitt, Joey, and he's ripped, and he is a warrior. Just don't mess with the guy. He doesn't lose battles. He was fierce. That's the picture you got to have of David. This fierce man that is just built to be a warrior. You just looked at him. I mean, his great-grandpa, oh no, who did Ruth fall in love with in the book of Ruth? Boaz. Boaz means Jack, big guy. So even when you go to see in the lineage of David, they're just produced big guys that were not overweight guys, just athletic, muscular, built, don't mess with me kind of guy. And so David's that guy. I want to make sure you're getting that picture that David was not only that, but he was a violent man. He was violent. Read through his biography in 1st and 2nd Samuel and some of it in 1st and 2nd Chronicles. Violence was his deal. It started with a giant. Just read all of it. Let me just read what it says. This gives you in the biography in 1 Samuel chapter 27, verse 9. So we've moved a couple chapters forward to explain David. Whenever David attacked an area, whenever, it didn't say sometimes, whenever, he did not leave a man or a woman alive. And he took the sheep and the cattle and the donkey and the camels and clothes. Don't mess with David is what you're hearing. Now, somebody's going, oh, I thought he was a God-fearing man. But you got to also remember the time and period he lived in and what he was in charge of and things. This guy was, don't mess with David. That's what you got to get a picture of here, especially for this story here. Because you got to understand the next piece that happens. You got to understand, this is who David is. David was a dangerous and violent man, even by the ancient standards I wrote in my note. Nabal should have known better because of the reputation of David. Instead, Nabal, being hard to deal with, a mean person, doesn't process who he's dealing with, makes him wait. And just listen to this. Here we go, back into this story in 1 Samuel chapter 25. Nabal answered David's servants. Who's David? Who is this son of Jesse? Many servants are breaking away from their masters these days. Why should I take my bread and water and meat I have slaughtered for my shearers and give it to men coming from who knows where? David's men turned around, went back, and when they arrived, they reported every word. So Nabal is saying, who's this David? He knows who David is. David, at Ledge, can you go to the wide shot there? Legend is trying to multitask and not doing a very good job today, apparently, because he's in the chat and cutting my head off. It's okay, man. You back into the story with David and Nabal. Nabal's going, okay, I don't care the reputation of this man. I don't care that he has 600 men. I'm not doing it for this guy. I don't care what he's done for me. He's being mean, hard to deal with. David, who's this guy? Ha ha. He laughs it off. David said to his men, I like this part. I mean, there's just a little bit of that. Each of you strap on your swords. So they did, and David strapped his on as well. This is what David's saying here. You mess with me, and you will see me. You mess with me, and you will pay. David's like, hey, fine. You're going to be mean to me? He reacts. There's no response. He says, let's do what we do best, boys. Let's get our swords. I know I just sent you there with no swords. Now we're going to put swords on. We go. So the men start strapping on the swords. They start heading the way to Nabal. And on their way, because again, this is such an epic overreaction. You ever do that? Is there moments in your life that you've overreacted to the situation? Again, a father of 8. The answer is yes. Last night, there was a moment of one of our older children were screaming at one of the youngers, and it was like it went from 0 to 100 immediately. And I was like, whoa, what's going on? Oh, they left one of their toys out. I was like, that's it? Because based by the way you were reacting to the situation, I thought it was like more heinous, like they stabbed your one-wheel tire or something, or threw your one wheel into the bathtub of water or something. They just left the toy out? Could we not go to 100 right away? Could we maybe go, hey, you left your toy out in a way of helping them? But that's not humans. Humans we just overreact because we got power up. We got to make sure that people know who we are. And hurting people hurt people. So David says, strap them on, boys. Let's go. Continuing the story, one of the servants told Abigail, remember, that's Nabal's wife, David sent messengers from the wilderness to give our master his greeting, but he hurled insults at them. Yet these men were very good to us. They did not mistreat us. The whole time we were out in the fields near them, nothing was missing. Night and day, they were a wall around us. The whole time we were herding our sheep near them. Now, think it over and see what you can do, because disaster is hanging over our master and his whole household. He is such a wicked man, and no one can talk to him. Abigail, act quickly. As she came, riding her donkey into the ravine. Okay, she's going to respond to this, but you guys got to understand, they know what's about to happen. They know David's reputation. They're going, listen, we just picked a fight. We cannot win. And so they go to Abigail, who seems to be the only person who can talk sense into Nabal. Hey, you got to do something for us here because this is a mess. Act on our behalf. And we jump into the story after she gets the information, and she goes riding her donkey into the mountain ravine where David and his men were. So she's riding towards danger. Are you picturing this? Like 400 to 600 men angry right now for what somebody said to them. They're reacting. And you have this one woman riding a donkey riding towards them. David had just said, it's been useless, all my watching over this fellow's property in the wilderness so that nothing was missing. He has paid me back evil for good. May God deal with David, be it ever so severely, if by morning I leave alive one male of all who belong to him. So David's hot. I mean, really, when you read this, Joey, it's like, I've never done that before, so I feel pretty good about my overreactions, right?
Yeah.
This is overreaction. I mean, it's a lot. So we're going on. When Abigail saw David, she quickly got off her horse and bowed down before David with her face to the ground. She fell to his feet and said, "Pardon your servant, my lord, and let me speak to you. Hear that your servant has to say. Please pay no attention, my lord, to the wicked man Nabal. He is just like the name that means fool, and folly goes with him. And as for me, your servant, I did not see the men my lord sent." And then she goes on in this reminder bit, like, hey, David, what you're about to do that's not who you are. Remember what God has done before? And she goes on, and now, my Lord, as surely as the Lord your God lives, and as you live, since the Lord has kept you from bloodshed and from avenging yourself with your own hands, may your enemies and all who are intent on harming my Lord be like Nabal. And let this gift which your servant has brought to my Lord be given to the men you follow. Please forgive our servants. The Lord your God will certainly make a lasting dynasty for my Lord, because you fight the Lord's battles. Okay, what she's trying to say is, look at David. Up to this point, all the battles you've chose to fight is because you felt the nudge from God. But the one you're about to do right now, you've picked to fight. You're about to go make a mess. You're about to go do something that you're not supposed to be doing. You're hurt. You're looking for somebody to take it out on, and this is a good bad guy to do it. And you can justify your position because they hurt you. You're already hurt. It was the straw that broke the camel's back kind of situation. And she's trying to say, hey, listen, Long ago, God has kept you from bloodshed, and she's trying to say, stop what you're about to do. She's trying to talk sense into David. And after she breaks it down, David says to Abigail, praise be the Lord, the God of Israel, who has sent you today to meet me. May you be blessed for your good judgment and for keeping me from bloodshed this day and from avenging my own with my own hands. Otherwise, as surely as the Lord, the God of Israel lives, you have kept me from harming you. If you had not come quickly to meet me, no male belonging to Damal would have been left alive by daybreak. Then David accepted from her what she had brought to him and said, go in peace. I've heard your words and grant your request. Abigail, she's the hero in this story. I mean, at the end of the day, for all of us, who are you in these stories? Are you the mean guy of Nabal that's just hard to deal with all the time? It's time to change. Are you David? You've been hurt and you're just looking to take your anger out on somebody and you've justified what you're going to do? Or are you an Abigail? You're watching somebody on the road to go destroy somebody verbally, or they've wrote a comment on Facebook or Instagram. Have you inserted yourself not to point fingers at them, but go, oh, let's throttle down? Those words are harsh. Those are not kind statements. David was going to go and make a mess of things, and Abigail stepped in. Today, Unlock Church is acting like Abigail, and we're stepping in and say, hey, what's the situation where you've got mean people in your life, and you want to go take it out on them? You're talking bad behind their back, and you're trying to make them look bad. We're being Abigail today, saying, hey, no, that's not what Jesus asked us to do. That's not what we're called to do. That's not how we should behave. When we go to talk bad about someone or to write a post about them, whatever our reactive thing is, you're just doing what every human being does, the default. You've been put off balance, so you're compensating. And today it's to slow down and to respond instead of react. Maybe some of you need to step into a situation in your family and tell your brother or sister, hey, throttle down. And I know what happens sometimes. There's a risk. There's a risk that Abigail could have just been trampled over. There's always that risk. You don't get to know the outcomes. We just need to do the right and wise thing. So I hope you got something out of today. It's a big thought, big concept, how to handle mean people. If we're not careful, we really quick become the mean person in the scenario. It usually starts with one mean person. It always, almost certainly ends up with two mean people. Because mean people produce mean people if we don't take on the Jesus principles to respond and not react, where we would listen more than speak. Even sometimes in the silence, we're thinking we're doing the right thing, but you know in the deeps of your heart, sometimes the silence is the shot back. So let's pray. Jesus, I ask that today you've spoken to all of us in some capacity on this topic today, how to handle mean people or how to deal with ourselves as being a mean person, that we'd become more like you today. That we would often go, what's the right thing to say back? What's my response? Jesus, may we respond versus react. I thank you that there are stories in the Bible that illustrate how to behave and how to trump human nature. May today it be encouraging to those listening, those that are up against the wall with people that are mean, that you would give them encouragement to keep fighting the good fight. But that we may never act like David did, where he reacted looking to destroy. We always look to build, asking the question, what does love require? God, we also know that there are people that are in battles that are for health, and we ask that you step into those situations, as well as we just got a prayer request in at the beginning today about a young woman in the ICU. We just ask that you would intervene right now in that situation, that there would be healing and they would be moved out of the ICU unit. Jesus, we also thank you for the opportunity to go on a mission trip. May you fill it full of people that we might be able to do great work in Arkansas, that we would be able to be an encouragement to the community of one-wheel riders, that we'd be able to be a joy for them, point them to you, that there would be a harvest. Jesus, we love you in your name. Amen. Dwayne, thanks for hanging with us today at the in-laws' quarters. It's always a joy to have you. Nice jersey, by the way. I think I wore mine last week online, and you're wearing it this week. That's love it. Make sure you wash it up for the mission trip. Dwayne, can you help people know how to give their tithes and offerings here at Unlock Church?
Yeah. So you can text the word unlock to 77977. and it will take you to a link and it'll allow you to start. It'll walk you through it. Very simple. The other way you can do it is by going to unlockchurch.com, and then the giving tab will be at the top.
Boom. That easy. It's that easy. Thank you, Dwayne, for being with us. We also have some camps that are happening this summer. We have a free camp that is right here in Maple Grove, Minnesota. It is for elementary age. As we are excited about it. That was Dwayne going, I've been left on screen a little too long. You don't need to save the date anymore. You need to get signed up June 24th through the 28th. It is a phenomenal camp. Go to unlockchurch.com. You'll see events. Go find our camp events and get registered so you can be counted for. Also, we have a high school, middle school camp that is happening in July 22nd through the 26th. That cost is $175. We build, construct some massive challenges. We do have water events that we do. We have speakers. It's such a phenomenal camp. We're going to end on Friday night with an outdoor live worship set of our band here at Unlock Church. So it's going to be a great week. All adults are invited to the Friday night concert, and so look forward for more details of that. Everybody, Joey, thanks for being with us today.
Absolutely.
Thanks for doing your hair. Icon, thanks for sitting in today. You're such a wise young woman. Thanks. But you forget that you're supposed to look at your camera, not me. I know you're used to looking at me. It's totally different, right?
Yeah.
But you're still looking at me. That's how you talk to me. Look at the camera and say, yeah.
Yeah.
The I said a million things right there. Everybody, thanks for hanging with us. Have a fabulous Sunday. We'll see you next week as we are still in a series on dealing with difficult people. It'll be number 4, I believe. Have a great Sunday, everybody. Adios.